This video is brought to you by Blue Guardian, the only prop firm that protects their traders. Alright folks, welcome to this week 8 update of the Blue Guardian Challenge. Crazy things happening this week. We've got 6 traders on board. In fact, we're losing a trader, we're gaining a trader, and another trader has actually hit their max drawdown limit. So you're going to find out how that all played out across the course of this past week in this video. Right, let's dive into my account first, then I'm going to tell you who has dropped out of the challenge. So my week didn't go great. I've got to be honest. It was terrible, in fact. It took me ages, in fact, 3 days, I think, before I started actually copying the trades from my C-Trader to my Blue Guardian account. Now, in that 3-day period, it wasn't great trading. I think I won one trade and lost several. So the good news is that they didn't copy across. So it's actually saved me a bit, and I've revised things. So hopefully this week's going to be a lot different, a lot better, and I'm even going to try and connect my account up to the Telegram chat. So if you guys want to see these trades dropping live from my account, because I'm not doing the live streams, then you can jump over there onto the Telegram chat and you'll be able to find out how that all is playing out across the course of the week. Now let's dive into some of these trades here. So you can see here I had 2 full losses on US dollar JPY, and the rest are basically break even. So I was risking less. I was risking 0.25 on the account. That break even was at a loss, but the rest of them were just at small profits. Now, let's dive in and have a look at some of these trades. Okay, so this was the trade of the week. It was my New Zealand dollar CHF trade. In fact, it was a break even again, but it did go to so what you can see here is my stop would have been down here somewhere, about 8 pips, and it did go almost, I think it went almost 20 pips. So it was just over 2R. And what happened? I got stopped out at break even. Now, had I not gone for the full target, which was actually quite a hefty R level, then I would have taken some profit here. I should have probably done that. It would have been a way better week, but anyway, it is what it is. Now, the UJ trades, they were the only ones that I got the direction right on, which is crazy, and why I've sort of reinvented what I'm going to be doing this coming week. Now, you can see here, got the direction right. Stops was slightly off, 12 pips, and then 10, 11 pips on that one. Direction was right, though. So, unhappy with that, but it is what it is. And then there were a few other trades, as you saw, mostly break even, and most of the other ones I actually got the direction wrong. So I've reinvented what I'm doing this coming week, and hopefully things turn out for the better. Now, who lost their account this week? I'm going to tell you that in a second. Let's first of all have a look at this Blue Guardian dashboard. So you can see here I'm down at 3.635%, so almost halfway to the maximum drawdown. I did forget that it was only 8% max drawdown. So what I'm going to do this week is risk 0.2% per trade, so 0.2. Okay, so I'm possibly going to have multiple trades running at the same time, which is going to help with the maximum overall drawdown. And speaking about drawdown, who did we lose from the challenge this week? We lost Herrera Khan, which is a bit of a surprise because he was the only trader to pass phase 1 and phase 2 of a time restricted challenge earlier on in the year. So crazy stuff here. I think, well, he did come back to me and say he wasn't used to trading in the summer months. So normally he'd set out this time and he'd usually take 3 to 5 solid setups a month. And you can see in the Telegram chat that he was taking a lot more trades than that. So unfortunately, yeah, we lose Herrera. We might get him back on the show in the future. So stay tuned for that. But we did bring on a new trader, which is EdCadet. So he's an ICT style trader. He's going to be doing the Asia session, taking over from Gentsla coming up this week. Now, Gentsla, he will still be giving us his Blue Guardian updates. We're actually going to hear from him now. Our sponsor, Blue Guardian, is the only prop firm that gives their traders a tool to protect them from hitting their max daily loss and overtrading. It's super simple to use. Just set the Guardian Protector each day from your dashboard. Did you also know that they've just released an unlimited time evaluation with a 0 trading days requirement, giving you plenty of time to hit their low 8 and 4% targets, making it super fast to get funded. Plus, it's cheaper than the 40-day time limit evaluation. Check out the link and coupon in the description to get 10% off your next Blue Guardian evaluation. All right, Gentsla, so how did your week go this trading week? I've seen you've done the last live stream for a while because you're having a baby. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
How did the week go? Let's have a look at your Blue Guardian.
The week's actually been pretty decent. So let's whip up the Blue Guardian. So coming back from a 2.2 2.5. It actually went down to like just 3.2% down here. And then we've pulled it back like almost just under 3%, so like 2.8%. We pulled the account back, and then 100K is literally just on that line that I'm drawing right there. So today we lost a trade, unfortunately. It's just how it is, how the market is. And yeah, that's how we're going. Of course, the Guardian Protector's always kicking in place. It's always there. I think that having that is a very, very important thing, and it's amazing to actually use it within our trades.
Yeah, do you want to show us that winning trade that you took that grew the account, because that looks like quite a nice trade.
Sure. Let me go into it. So this is the trade that we took on Tuesday. Well, it was my Wednesday actually, but everyone else's Tuesday.
It's probably my Wednesday as well.
Yes, exactly. What we had was we had high set, we had a whole bunch of liquidity on the sell side, and my liquidity range was inside of a Hong Kong gap, and it was actually going towards the next Hong Kong gap. As it came up over here, tapped into my time, I then took a sell, and it just went perfectly to my target, which was actually quite a nice 4R. I could have held it the whole day, but I didn't, because you have to like lock in your profits when you can. That would have been a monster. But
22. Yeah, if you held it. And did you take partials on the way with that 4R, or did you let it run until it was just pushing?
No, I let it hold the whole time. So it was like a $1,200 trade on the amount I was risking.
Yeah, and it looks like it only took maybe 10 minutes to get there, which is pretty quick.
Yeah, exactly. It's very, very quick. And so like my trading styles, I just want to be in and I want to be out. I don't want to be holding through all of this consolidation for hours and then come down and then be like, oh, mentally I'm like stuck in where I want to be, and I don't want to be stuck in anything. What I want to do is I want to be in and I want to be out, and then I want to carry on with the rest of my day.
Brilliant. Well, look, Gentsla, thank you once again for doing all the live streams you've done. I know you've been on there for many weeks and it's been fantastic, and the guys have been loving it. So it's a shame to see you go. What are the chances of you coming back on?
Well, depending on the challenge, of course. I will still be here. I will still be here trading and presenting the charts. And what I'll do is I'll keep the trades and stuff on the charts as well, so that when we do this weekly recap every Friday, then you can see where we come, and I'll explain how I took them as well.
Brilliant. Okay, so folks, you're not going to see the back of him. He's going to be back every week for these recaps. So we'll get an update as to how he's going, and you'll see some of those trades in retrospect. Well, look, thanks again, and let's get on with the next trader.
What's up, guys? Lord Bankz here with the recap for last week. Unfortunately, we don't really have much of an update. We only traded Tuesday and Wednesday. And Tuesday, I didn't have a trade. It was a no trade day. I didn't like the setup. I didn't like the way it was playing out. So we just called it a no trade day. And Wednesday, I actually missed the trading day on Wednesday. Hectic week last week. The good thing is I kind of plan these things, like my personal stuff, to come into line usually at the beginning or the end of the month. Usually when we have choppy markets, it's coming at the beginning of the month or the end of the month. You have news, or you have 1 month coming into a new month, and you see the market doing its kind of things where it's either consolidating, ranging, or just moving, just really choppy. So I'm kind of glad that we didn't trade. I think we would have ended up like forcing a trade if we would have jumped in there. But I'll go ahead and share with you guys the current status of the account. It's the same as the last update. We literally did not take any trades. So we're still down 2%, 2.127%. Haven't taken any additional trades. We're in day 47. I'm still pretty confident about this. I know we're down a little bit, 2%, but I think this week should be nice. We'll hit it hard starting Tuesday. We'll be trading Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and I'll see you guys on the live. I mean, if you guys have not purchased a Blue Guardian account to follow us along on the challenge, you're more than welcome to do so. We're currently down right now, so I'll be risking a little bit less of a percent on this challenge account just because we're down 2% until we get back to break even. Once we get back to break even, I'll be risking the normal risk percentage. But if you are joining us with the challenge, we will be live on Tuesday, and we'll be trading Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Like I said, I don't have any trades to show you guys. We didn't trade at all. We were waiting on Tuesday for it to break out. We didn't have the breakout till it was like 2 a.m. and I was looking for a retracement. It didn't give me that retracement. It came down, took the low out here. I was waiting for this high to be taken out. It never came back up. So it was just not operating the way I like it to operate, and we just ended up calling it a day. We didn't force any trades. Here was GJ on Tuesday. It literally just ranging until it broke out here. It was a nice nice little breakout here, but it wasn't within my parameters that I wanted. So I ended up just calling it a day on Tuesday. Wednesday, I needed to catch up on sleep and I just didn't make the London session. But I'll be on this week. We'll be doing live analysis on Sunday and I will be trading Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So if you want to join us on the live session on TradingNut's channel, we will be live on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Other than that, I'll see you guys on the live.
Good day, everybody. I am just providing a quick update for my Blue Guardian Challenge. Sad to say, I am finishing the week in drawdown, so you can see I am a little bit into my max loss instead of into my profit target. So just a quick recap, I'm not going to go over any charts or trades as there's only one 1R trade and the rest were losers this week. So my kind of internal dialogue is about the whole week, not a specific trade. It's because I'm trying to master my psychological aspect of trading, and my thoughts on a week like this are that I should change up the strategy, that I should do kind of the things I've always done in the past to try to make up for losses, and I'm really trying to avoid that. So that's kind of my lesson learned this week, is to stick with it, keep following my rules, and to not get discouraged just because there's a drawdown week. So looking forward to getting back into it next week, and for now, that's all.
Good morning. Good morning. It's EdCadet back again for a weekly recap of how the week went, what we did, what trades we took, and what's the outcome. So we're gonna get back. We're gonna go back to our Blue Guardian 25K trading journal that we had on Notion. We presented on our last live stream. So you can see here we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trades for the week. We took our first trade on August 1st, and one trade on August 2nd, and 3 trades on August 3rd. Normally, as I said already in my first live, the rules are we only takes 2 trades per day, 1 per session, 1 in Asian session and 1 in New York session. But as one of the point of my plan for this trading combined for this 25K challenge, it was to be flexible. So I had to adjust, because as you are trading, you will learn that although you have a plan, but you need to be able to modify the plan when the needs present itself. So we had to modify our plan. So let's go ahead and see our first trade. It was on golds. Unfortunately, it was a loss. As you can see here, my bias was short, but I did take a trade contrary to my bias, a long trade, and it was based on a fair value gap on a 1 minute time frame. Normally, I was supposed to be risking $62.5, but I don't know how the trade manager that I used only put the risk at $51.45, but that's fine. And our entry price was at 1953.52. Our stop loss was at 1952.25. Very tight stop loss. I like them because it allows you to get good risk to reward ratio, and our lot size was 0.49. Our expected risk to reward ratio was 1 to 3, but as I said, the outcome was a loss. And as you can see here, that's a screenshot of the trade that we took. So the fair value gap was there. After this push up, we had a break in market structure here, a shift in market structure here, and we are expecting price. Before that, we had a liquidity swept down there. Those lows has been swept, and then market pushed up, and we had this market structure shift, and we had this fair value gap here. So we're expecting price to go higher, to take this this line here is a buy side liquidity, most likely highs from the previous sessions. So unfortunately, it hit our stop loss. And that was our first trade for this challenge. We had our second trade the day after. It was also in New York. We didn't trade Asian session. And it was a short. Again, while my bias was short, I take a long. Contrary to the bias. So on a 1 minute fair value gap again. And this time, the trade manager had me risking a $58 on. Although I mentioned, I put in 0.25, which was supposed to be $62, but it only risked $58.41. Entry price was at 1945.78, stop loss 1943.88, and lot size 0.33. And we were expecting 1 to 4 risk to reward. Unfortunately, it ended up in loss by very, very little. As you can see here, that is a screenshot of our trade. We had this push up, we did have a break in market structure here, market structure shift here. So we had multiple fair value gaps in that leg. I would say one here, and one down there. So I was expecting price to come back here and continue push up to take out those, or at least these two highs before dropping again. I mean, while entering into this fair value gap here. But unfortunately, as our bias was short, the day definitely was short and price didn't want to go up there. So we had a loss here as well. So that was our second trade for this challenge, and also our second trade on gold and our second loss. So that's two loss on gold. And on the third, we had a trade on USD JPY. It was a long trade, same direction with our bias. And entry was a fair value gap in a 1 minute, and we're risking $72.81 this time. The trade manager decided to risk more, and our entry price was 142.29, and stop loss was at 143.23, and our lot size was 1.59, and expected risk to reward ratio was 1 to 3. Unfortunately, it ended up in a loss. So as you can see here, that line is 8 p.m. for me in Eastern time. So Asian session starts. We had a big run up before around 19:45, 15 minutes before 8. And I was expecting price to go here, but also at the same time, I believe that price would want to sweep that liquidity below that low, because as you can see, this price leg was entering this fair value gap that was created earlier before that push up. So I believe that price would want to sweep that liquidity, but at the same time, I didn't want I didn't want to miss the trade if price didn't want to go down there. So I just take my first trade here, and unfortunately, as you can see, it did exactly what one of my expectation. It take out that liquidity, enter second time in that fair value gap, and then push back up. So that was our first trade, and I decided to take a second trade on the same day as I was taking a new opportunity, because I knew that for the USD JPY was going long. In fact, and I knew that the target was not reached yet, because on the daily time frame there's a big fair value gap that it needed to reach into. So I was expecting still movement up. So I take a second trade, a long entry again on the 1 minute time frame into a fair value gap. And this time, as I already lose 3 trade at this point, 2 on gold and 1 on USD JPY, I decided to did some adjustment to my risk plan, and I downsized the risk to only, I believe, 0.1%. And with 0.1%, with 1 to 3 risk to reward ratio, I should be able to at least get 0.25 out of this trade actually, which ended up happening. So I was entering I was risking $26 to make around 62 something, and I was entering at 143.29, stop loss 143.23, and lot size 0.62, risk reward ratio 1 to 3, and it ended up in a win. And as you can see here, that was my first trade that ended up in a loss, and then price go up again. But when it reaches that high, it didn't break the high. It just go up there to create equal highs, which was entering a liquidity. So which made me think that, well, if those highs are that clean, price will want to go up, because the target is still unreached yet. The ultimate target on the higher time frame and the daily time frame is still yet to be reached. So I see this fair value gap here. Price did dip into it first time, but didn't completely fill it. And then the second time when I see it getting there, I immediately jump in and put my stop loss down there, which ended up in a fast, very, very, very fast win as this candle, I believe it was 9:15 before 9:15 before Hong Kong open, I believe before 9:15. Um, this one just push it right there, right to our TP, and we had a very good win here that break us back to 0.25 plus 0.25% on the account. And on August 3rd, we had this time a long trade. I mean, the trading itself was good, but my stop loss placement had me, I mean, not stop loss placement, but risk management wanted me to do something, and price was doing something else. So I had a bias. What that was long. I took the trade on the 1 minute, and then entry strategy was a fair value gap, and we were risking only $10. I mean, actually, that's I'm gonna explain. We were risking more than that. I was around that was around $26, but we ended up losing only $10 on the trade, and it was a loss. So let me go ahead and show you here the screenshot. So as you can see here, price just pushed up right here. I believe there was a news this day, and it took out this high and left a fair value gap in here. And I wanted to see price go up again at that high, which it did actually, but it did take me out before, because as you can see here, price dipped down below. I entered here. My initial stop loss was below this low. I was risking $25 at this time. So when I see this big push up here, it left a fair value gap, I believe, in here. I immediately moved my stop loss from this point to this point, reducing my initial risk to even less, because I wanted to make back the losses, like to bring the account back to break even at least. And then I move my stop loss here, and it just pushed up, and then it just get back down here. So at this point, I was thinking it's just gonna be it's gonna be respecting this down close candle here, as it already started. As you see this week here, how it rejected this down close candle. So I was saying it's gonna definitely respect this down close candle, and with this week respecting it, I believe it was going up. So I immediately move up. When this move happened, I immediately moved my stop below this week here. And as you can see here, unfortunately, it stopped me out. I mean, if only I've left my stop loss down there, I would have participated in the move. Unfortunately, I get stopped out, and that was a loss. Not much, but still a loss of $10.64. So that was it for the week. 5 trades, 1 win, and 4 losses. So as you can see here, we're currently down 0.47, almost 0.5% on the account. We're initially down 0.75% here, but the wind put us back up to 0. Something, and then we had this the last loss that put us back to 0.5% around. So we had 5 trades, 5 lots traded, win rate 20%. Profit factor 0.43, average winning trade $77.35, average losing trade $44. Risk reward ratio currently is at 1.73, and expectancy $20. So that was it for this week. Hopefully next week we can grow back. We're gonna start back again at risking 0.25% with our first trade. If it's a loss, we'll dial back and try to get back to it. If it's a win, we're gonna continue risking 0.25%, as I said, until we reach 2% on the account. Then we'll risk 0.5% until we reach 4%, and then we'll risk 1%. So it was a great week so far, I would say, even though we had losses, but I'm really proud of the week, really proud of the trades that we took, and really proud of this only win that we had, because it was, I mean, somehow it really helps our psychology deal with the drawdown, because as you can see, 3 trade was lost, and in 1 trade we get back the amount of one of the losses that we had. That was a big, get back moment. If you're trading, knowing that you have a high risk reward ratio will definitely help you with those losses that you have. You know that for 3 losses that you have, 1 win can cover it.
All right, folks, I'm here at Black Bull Markets headquarters in Auckland, New Zealand. You can see this amazing view behind me of Auckland Harbour. Now, talking about views, if you do want to get free TradingView Pro, then all you need to do is trade 1 lot a month at Black Bull Markets, and they're going to give you free TradingView Pro. So, folks, to find out more, click the link in the description below or the card above.